the main focus of today's podcast is the crisis of evaporation, and specifically in Canada. And why do we call it the crisis of evaporation?
Because people all over that are growing cannabis are losing quality money due to evaporation. So you may know it or you may not, but your cannabis is drying out very rapidly in some regions, faster than others. And all of that good stuff is going out into the air, atmosphere, and it's lost. You're not getting it back.
So John, you went shopping. You've done a significant amount of shopping in Canada. You deal directly with a number of LPs, and you've had a very specific experience when it comes to the quality of the cannabis when you open it and test it. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so pretty easy and simple. So when it comes to cannabis in Canada on the day of legalization, I was excited. I was excited to take a look at what the licensed producers were doing in Canada, and being a medical patient and learning the system previously before legalization, we had already known that the cannabis was coming pretty dry. So, of course, on legalization, I went shopping. I jumped online and bought some cannabis right away. And what I came to find out was dry, and not just really dry, but we're talking drier than breadcrumbs. And it was just such, like, you're just like, wow, did you actually just destroy something that people are trying to actually get their first enjoyment, like their first experience with cannabis, and it wasn't there. So, I mean, for me, I was shocked to see what was happening, and then talking more about relative humidity and moisture content. And that's when we started talking about AW.
So when you say dry, what do you mean? What type of readings? We sent you a moisture activity meter and
an AW, active water machine.
Yep,
I think that's what it is, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Water activity machine.
And what were you finding? Give us just an idea of what you mean when you say it's dry.
Okay, so I did some research, and I had to really learn about this, talking with you guys, Brian, of course. But in the beginning, I did some research on say, AW and what it really means. And I found out that, like, say, the AW, active water and breadcrumbs, was 30. And then I did some more research and found out that AW and pasta was 50. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. It gives me an idea. Jam is 65. I guess that's why it goes in the fridge once you open the jar. And I was, really excited to see what was going on, because I know my own cannabis is, quite, it's fresh, let's just say. So the machine, went into the garage and pulled out some of the first stuff I tested was tweed, and it came back at like 44% AW. And I'm like, well, what is that? And why is it so dry? And I tested another one out of Ontario, and it came back at like 39. And I'm like, wow. Then we moved over to, say, the East Coast, and that was coming back at like 29. So you just mentioned about provinces and different elevations. So as you're hearing, and then when I got the stuff from BC, that was testing at 48. I started seeing just this difference of, why is it so dry, and why is everything just so all over the place? And even listening to you right now talk, Scott, about just the provinces and different parts of the country. As you're hearing, I'm testing cannabis at different parts of the country, all across Canada, and it's all roughly different. Some is too dry, some is not dry enough. Actually, everything is too dry, to be honest. So.